Actually, when I first came to the Broome Street Temple, I didn't know it was a temple, but I definitely knew there was a sense of the divine and something very sacred here, very magical. That's probably the best way to describe it.
It's very peaceful, it's very blissful. It's an amazing community.
This temple is, everybody is coming, all the religious people are coming, not for any one religion.
It was again very traditional, done in a very close to original Vedic way. And those are rare things to see, especially in New York City.
I find in all of New York City, when I come here, I really feel the qualities of India.
My name is Eddie Stern, and I'm from New York, and this is my temple. It's not exactly mine, but we'll clear that up. My wife and I opened up a yoga school on Houston Street after receiving blessings from Patabi Joyce to begin teaching. My feeling was that yoga was part of the temple tradition, and that the atmosphere of the temples and also the atmosphere of India was part and parcel of doing the actual yoga practices. We had all of the materials that we needed, all of the brass and all of the decorative materials made in Mysore, and we shipped it all back to New York. And it arrived here on Guruji's birthday. He was basically the overseer of the entire installation process.
Very beautiful places in India that you can visit, spiritual places, whether they're like very ancient temples, or you also have even whole like towns or have a very strong spiritual presence. And what we've tried to do here is try to recreate that experience, try to through the aesthetics of the temple, through the worship in the temple, and through the activities of the temple, that without having to cross an ocean, you can come right here in Manhattan and have a divine experience like that.
Like there's a lot of people who come from different cultures, different traditions, and I'm sure different religions also. Some come here to meditate, some like myself come here to pray. So I think it provides a platform where people are able to worship the way they want to.
So there's daily pujas that go on in the Ganesh temple and in the Radha Krishna temple. A special program. We have a class on Bhakti Yoga, a talk, a discussion on that. And then there's many holidays or special events that we celebrate here, festivals and so on, which I think are particularly exciting, and wherein a whole community can come together and share in the event.
Whether you believe or not, whether you subscribe or not to Hinduism, which is also not a religion, it's a way of life. It's a way, I think it's a path to awareness. and yoga is definitely a part of that, and the path of compassion is, and the path of grace is, and it's very much embodied within the walls here, and the way everything's sort of celebrated here, and the way everyone does their dance here in a very humble way, but in a very soulful way, and I would say, for want of using the pun, in a very stern sort of a way. It's very honourable. There's a code of ethics, there's a system of learning, we're here to engage with one another. But I think more so, what I think the temple does more than anything is it allows us to connect. It allows us to connect with others by allowing us and inviting us to connect with ourselves. And that's where the divine comes in. I think that's what makes it really magical. We're not being taught, it's not just instructional, it's invitational.
Yeah, mainly here in this temple is main god is Lord Ganesha. That is Lord Ganesha, he will remove obstacles and difficulty and problems. The second one we can see Durga, Lakshmi and Saraswati. This is mainly for Durga for the good energy, and Lakshmi for prosperity, and Saraswati for education and wisdom. And also Bhakta Hanuman is in left side, that is for peace and strong mind. And also we can see here Radha Krishna, this is for bhakti. And also we can see in Lord Shiva, this is for peace and good health and long life. It is the main god here, but we are worshipping all the god.
It's a crazy city. It's very busy, it's very passionate, and in that type of atmosphere, it's easy to lose touch with the more important things in life. So personally, I feel whenever I step in here, I always feel good. I always feel like in this place, the values and the priorities are the highest.
I think it anchors the city. I think it's particularly poignant and perfect that it's a downtown. I think it's in the hub of the sort of creative soul of New York City.
In a macrocosm, it's very universal in its approach. In the microcosm of New York, we are very international. Though the practices in their root are Hindu, at the same time, everybody is welcome equally. Everybody who wants to reach within, who has a spiritual inclination, who wants to find peace and sanctity, are welcome here. They come from all faiths and backgrounds. The goal is one, to try and be a better human being and a more complete human being through the spiritual path of yoga and meditation.
I think we're definitely multi-denominational, and we're all across the board. Like, I'm Jewish. I've never converted to Hinduism. I'm quite happy being Jewish, but it just so happens that I really like worshiping Ganesh and all the gods, and so that's what I do for my spirituality. And I think that if devotion is taken towards the central aspect of a person's search or undertaking, then they're very happy to meet people of other denominations also who are seeking in the same type of a way. That's a real meeting place where we can see the similarities between the different groups and have a real appreciation and an enjoyment of, wow, man, what they're doing is so similar to what I'm doing, but their form is completely different.
If we go together as a group, then our message, it becomes amplified. And so I think that's what happens here through satsang, that we come together as a group and we can kind of, as a group, try to come in touch with God. And if we do it as a group, we're more likely to be heard.
Sat also can be short for sattva, which is harmony, illumination, buoyancy, clarity, brightness, and it refers to the mind. So it's also spending time with people who have heightened this aspect of sattva within themselves, so they're very clear and bright and harmonious.
I just love to see what we do here expand, that we can do more of the type of programs that we do, and that more people hear about it and have the opportunity to come and take part in it.
There's a nice energy developing from the yoga classes. I think it'd be nice to see the same thing happening with the temple activities here too, if they were regularly attended by as many people as wanted to come, if we had regular chanting every evening, regular pujas every evening, and let it develop into a traditional, authentic Hindu temple. That's why we built it, And that's what I'd like to see it turn into.
Idam margyam manurve maha. Idam machmanyam manurve maha. Yesha mudparka manurve maha. Idam punarachmanyam manurve maha. Idam snayam manurve maha. Idam sotri vashram manurve maha. Idam abranam manurve maha. Yesha ganda manurve maha. Yesha Dhupa Anurve Namaha. Yesha Deepa Anurve Namaha. Idam Satchandra Pushpam Anurve Namaha. Idam Naivedyam Anurve Namaha. Idam Paniyajalam Anurve Namaha. Idam Punarachmanyam Anurve Namaha. Idam Tangulam Anurve Namaha. Idam Sarvam Anurve Namaha. I'm Gurudevaya Vindahe Krishna Nandaya Dhimihi Tano Guru Chodhyat. Om Jnanasivarandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunaditam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyascha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Shriman Mukti Kadam Vadachakuram Susmera Chandrana Shri Kanda Guruchara Chitra Vasanam Shravivya Sanchitam Nityaveşar sarmodhamaram kandarpadesho gulam Chaitanya kanika dutin nijajanai samsevima.